Again, I've never tasted this, so this is like a taste test
Oh,
for me.
you've never had one?
I've had an iced pumpkin chai, like freshman year of high school, and I didn't like it as much. But this is completely different, and my taste for, for coffee shop things has been better.
This doesn't have any coffee in it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I can't drink coffee.
Yeah.
It gives me acid
like
reflux.
the
Cheers.
Cheers. As always.
Yeah, isn't it
The
cool?
handle is
Is
the
the
D,
Disneyland D.
That's cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
What
it's fun.
Mine's a C for pumpkin.
C for pumpkin.
Well, so they call this a Chumpkin.
It's because that fox is a chump.
No, the drink. They call the drink Chumpkin.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, that's. I mean, look at its face.
Yeah,
look
that's
at
a
its
chump
face.
right
That's
there.
a chump.
Like, come on.
Wherever you are, be all there.
Oh, nice.
That's a chump
It
thing to
tastes-
say.
It tastes like Halloween.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. It's because it has the spices of a
It's
chai.
Yeah.
But then
But
with
it has
the
the pumpkin-esque in it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. It's good.
We're gonna have to just start doing mugs all the time when it gets cooler. That's a great idea.
That's a better thing, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
'Cause it's getting
I love
colder.
mugs.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
mugs are
I would
great.
like copyright.
You'll pay you every
You
time.
can have half of all of the money we make off of that.
You can have 50% of our profits, all right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. This is a handshake deal, right? This is,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have to sign
Yes,
anything.
verbal agreement.
It's forever immortalized now in audio and visual.
Exactly.
So,
Mm-hmm.
you've signed something.
It's basically a verbal agreement. At that
Yeah.
point. Verbal contract.
You already tested the mics and everything?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, hold it.
I'm
There you
holding
go.
it.
Yeah, thanks.
Got it.
I'm still thinking.
It is.
Well, you're going last.
Did you get something?
Yeah.
Okay, did you have something?
Yes.
Jordan, what do you hate?
I hate that Halloween won't be the same this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me too.
In the last 3 years, only the 3 years, I've finally understood the Halloween vibe.
Finally. Took you
'Cause,
long enough.
I don't know.
You finally understood the true meaning of Halloween.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Spooky.
Well, here's the thing. When you're a kid, of course you know the true meaning of Halloween because of Disney. Disney kind of gave Halloween to kids, I
Yes.
think, and that's why we all love Halloween because of
Yes.
the movies and Tim Burton and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in high school, it just kind of fades out because everyone's trying to be cool, and
Yeah.
the only thing people want to do is just hang out and not trick or treat or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it killed it for me. But now I think I got it again, so that's good.
Well, that's good.
So I hate that I can't fully express it as much as it would be if there wasn't a pandemic going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a bummer.
Yes. Kinsey, what do you hate?
Similar topic / theme.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when people get mad if you start celebrating Halloween in September, and September to October.
Yeah.
But then, of course, November rolls around. They're like, "It's Christmas," and I'm like,
You have to.
"If you get to celebrate Christmas for 2 months, I get to celebrate Halloween for 2 months.
You can't say no to one.
Yeah,
or yes to
that's-
the
You
other.
can't do that."
That's-
My question is, what degree are you celebrating Halloween in September?
I
Like,
mean,
fully, or just
It's I'll start decorating
lead
for
up.
Halloween.
Okay, so it's a
I'll
lead up.
start watching some Halloween movies.
that's
Not
fine.
like I'm, wearing my costume out in
See, that's
September.
fine October
See,
1st.
Yeah.
but-
Right.
I don't think you should celebrate Halloween in September, but I also don't think you should celebrate Christmas in November.
So you're that kind of person.
So I'm the-
So at least you're consistent.
They have a time and place.
Yeah.
And I'm not being a hypocrite about it.
Yes.
Exactly. There you go.
You just don't like hypocrites.
I just don't like hypocrites.
Yeah,
Yeah, neither do I.
Lean one way or
Basic.
the other.
Yeah.
Neither do I, yeah.
Yeah.
So then, Noah, what do you hate?
I hate how fast time is going as I'm aging.
Mm.
Everything just gets faster and faster all the time.
Yeah. The existential crisis you have every day. Just
Every
gets
single
a little
day.
bit sooner.
Especially during the pandemic. Time doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
That's very
No.
true.
Because it feels like every day lasts about 3 years, but it also feels like they just said we're going to go into quarantine for 2 weeks, and now it's been 9 months!
Yes.
You know why? It's because the first week they told us this won't last very long.
I know.
The first month
said-
they said
I know.
this won't last very
They
long.
said
3
2
months.
weeks.
Yeah.
And it's been 9
And we were all like,
months.
"Oh my gosh, 2 weeks inside. How are we
Like, how are
gonna
we
do
gonna
it?"
do it? 9 months?
Here we
this
are.
This won't take
9
very
months later.
long. We're
Wow.
fine. So basically, they're
Not-
stripping
Yeah.
time. from
We're
us.
just, we're just getting desensitized to it, because now it's like,
Yeah.
oh, if it ends sometime in the next 6 months, that'll
That's
be early.
pretty good, yeah.
That's pretty early. That's nice.
Like, wow, that's what we're aiming for now. All
Yeah,
right,
like
cool.
I'm excited for 6 months from now.
Yeah.
Which is really sad.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's definitely been very interesting because I wasn't much of a person who went out a whole ton anyways and was a very like homebody kind of person. But now that I'm like being forced to, it's not fun anymore.
Here's the thing: your going out was Disneyland,
Right,
and
right, and now it's been closed.
it's like, okay,
been
we're
closed
stripping
for-
that from you.
What? Over 100 days?
Yeah,
Yes.
It hasn't been closed for more than 3 days in 65 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's been closed for more than 100 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, well,
it's-
this entire year has just been unprecedented
Yep.
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
Yes, it has.
So, welcome to the We Hate Things podcast.
Episode 24.
We're 24 years old, double digits.
We're, actually, that was, because this is 24, right? So last week this is 20, sorry. That was a whole thing in my head.
Whoa.
We've been going for half a year now. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
6
I-
months.
6 months.
Yeah, I did the math wrong in my
Wow.
head for a second there. 6 months, yeah, because we
25
skipped 2
years.
weeks and we're at 24, so
That's funny. I'm at 24.
we've been going for half a year already.
25.
Yeah, and today Kinsey brought us
Yeah.
pumpkin chai
In
from
case I don't cut that out at the beginning.
Starbucks.
Yes.
Pumpkin
I don't think
chai?
we said it. I think we just said
Chumpkin.
taste
You
test.
just
Chumpkin.
said
We got that. They call it Chumpkin.
We call that
Chumpkin.
Fox Chumpkin.
For those of you who are only listening on Spotify, you don't get the wonderful
You-
visual
you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
get
yeah.
to see
of
the
the
mugs that
I
we're using.
brought. Mine
Yes,
is
they're
a
wonderful.
fox who apparently looks like a chump.
Apparently.
Noah's is a mug that has the schematics of the Haunted Mansion on
Which is
it.
rad.
And Jordan's has It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown on it.
Yeah.
It's very cute. I love it.
Yes.
It's also a massive mug.
It
It's-
is very large.
I never understood mugs like this, but it's not for coffee. It's for it's for tea. It's
I'm
for,
assuming so because
yeah.
if you drink that much coffee in the morning,
There's no way
That's
anyone
about
can
half
do
of
this.
how much I drink.
you'd have a
Yeah, nice.
problem. Like maybe after a couple cups though. Like if you
Yeah.
had like 3 cups of
You're
that,
gonna
Yeah,
you'd have a problem.
no
My
way.
heart is upset.
I think that's the mug I
That
use.
is
This is
that's
an
the one I
size.
reach for a lot of the time because
This
it's
is
like
like
the
an ideal
perfect
size,
size.
yes.
Yeah.
Who reaches for this and like, yeah, I'm gonna drink that much coffee.
Exactly.
Yes,
See,
yes,
that's
yes,
what I was
yes.
thinking about that mug that I just showed you guys. That thing is huge.
Yes.
I'm
Mhm.
almost never gonna use that. I'm using it for like cocoa, but still not even finish half of it. But it's a really good cocoa mug.
Hot
It's got a lot of
chocolate.
marshmallows.
Yes,
That's a
yes,
good
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot chocolate that's good for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually only make either chai or hot chocolate in these mugs.
Exactly.
anyways, So.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's good. It's good chai.
it is. So I watched Nightmare Before Christmas
Mhm.
for the first time in like 15 years
Why did
yesterday
you wait that long?
Yeah.
because I didn't like it.
Oh.
So
Okay.
we can jump into this now because nothing matters and time is irrelevant. How did you feel about that? How did
Okay,
you feel
so
about the
I'll
movie?
give you what I really liked about it.
Okay.
I liked that most of it was a musical,
Yes.
and
Yes,
that you
it's very
literally they explained all the plot points in song. That was awesome.
Mhm.
Yes.
Where they literally all the most of the dialogue was just them singing, and it made sense, and it was
Yeah.
super linear for
And
that.
most
Good.
of the songs are good.
Yeah, no. I
was
think
about
all
to
the
say,
songs
I was
are
about
good.
to say all of the songs
Yeah.
are good, but then I remembered Sally's song. I was like,
Oh, well, okay.
It's just
iconic,
boring.
though.
Yeah.
It is a little slow compared to the rest
compared
of the
to
songs.
like this is Halloween. What,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't compare to that.
Yeah.
Or what's
It's true.
this?
Yes.
It's both
Yeah, yeah.
iconic
I like the
songs.
Oogie Boogie song as well.
Oh, an Oogie Boogie song is amazing.
I
I
did.
love that song.
So I kind of knew the plot going in, but not really. So I was like, okay, I'll take that into account. I also liked the artistic design is just amazing. They
Yes.
put so much detail into it, and isn't it one of the first stop motion cartoons? I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know about that. but
I mean, if you count like all the weird Christmas claymation
then no.
specials,
Like the old.
I'm talking
but
about like
I mean, this movie came out in like I think 1993.
it's 1993. Yeah, I
So-
checked.
Yeah.
Just like I think it
Maybe
revolutionized.
Maybe
it, a
it was
little
one
bit.
of the first like full length. Because like if you
Maybe.
talk about like Rudolph,
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
like
Rudolph is
that's
like 30 minutes.
20 minute, 30 minutes long.
1920s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first full. I think I read this. The first full length like Halloween themed stop motion movie.
Okay.
Cool.
And that revolutionized Tim Burton's whole thing, and then Disney
Well,
kind of
yeah.
got bottom out. And like,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
great. Then I remembered why I didn't like it when I watched it as a kid once. Is because it kind of just doesn't. It makes sense. It's just super shallow in its theme. Like, it's Jack's kind of bored. He discovers Christmas, tries to figure out what it is. He doesn't, so he tries to ruin it, and then he gets
no. He does not try to ruin it.
Not he tries to take it.
He tries to do it himself because he likes the idea of doing something different.
It's much deeper than he's just bored. He literally, he's been doing Halloween since the dawn of time, supposedly.
Literally,
He's the king of Halloween. Yeah. And then he gets to a certain point where he's like, is there all this is to my life? Like, literally has an existential crisis. It's like, I've been doing this since forever, and this can't be all there is. And then discovers that there's other holidays. And comes across Christmas and is like, I never knew that this existed.
He made a song about it.
He wants to try something else.
Yes, wants to try something else. So he's like, I saw how magical this could be. I want this for myself.
And I did like that they didn't have him totally get it. Like, he just couldn't figure it out.
Couldn't figure it out because his brain and his mindset is only on, like, Halloween. Yeah. Because that's all he's ever known. And so, obviously, it gets messed up.
And it's great. And then, after he does... Spoiler for a movie that came out 27 years ago.
Sorry.
After he does the whole Christmas thing, then he comes back and he's like, yes, Halloween is all I have, but boy, do I actually love it.
Yes.
Like, he has that whole coming back around and being like, I am so good at this and I love doing this. He just needed to experience something else first.
I didn't like the turning point where it's like, he needed the U.S. military to bomb him out of the sky.
That was great.
That was so funny.
I love the implications of that whole scene because it implies that the entire world, this is a world where Santa Claus actually exists.
Yes,
and everybody knows it.
Everyone is expecting him.
Everyone knows it,
And the second they get a whiff that this isn't really Santa, they're like, shoot him down.
I know. It's like, what?
Get out of here.
I did not expect that or remember that at all. I'm like, come on.
It's amazing.
I also didn't like Sally's role. They had Jack ignore her for the entire movie, basically.
Yes.
And then once Jack saves her, he's like, how could I be ignoring you this entire time?
It's a little bit unfounded. It just kind of happens.
Yeah. It's kind of forced romance, which is in a lot of movies. I can't just...
It's
especially
it was also the 90s. Which
it was also the 90s, which explains a lot of things.
Explains a lot.
But overall, I did like it more, and I understand why there's a cult following to it. Why people look to it as, like, the Halloween movie, I can also kind of understand. And yeah, that's basically my review to it.
Yes.
I enjoyed it.
Yes.
I just love the song aspect of, like, it's basically 90% musical. It's great. Yeah.
I mean, Danny Elfman wrote all the music and I think
and
sang everything.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he wrote actually a lot of the music for some of the Marvel movies, too.
Yes, he did.
He's done a lot of stuff,
He's a genius.
He's a very good composer. One thing I do love about the movie, too, is one time there was this fan theory that was like Frankenweenie, Corpse Bride, and Nightmare Before Christmas are all the same guy.
Oh.
It's when he's a kid, and then he grows up,
seen that before.
and then he dies, and then becomes Jack Skellington.
Yes.
And somebody, it was something like somebody brought it up to Tim Burton once, and basically all he replied with was, every story has a beginning, middle, and end, but not necessarily in that order.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, if you're looking at, like, the actual time periods of each movie, it doesn't make sense. Because, like, Frankenweenie is, like, set in, like, I think the 50s
I think
or something.
it's the 50s.
And then Corpse Bride is, like, Victorian era.
Yeah, it does. The timeline doesn't make any sense, but I love that implication.
It might be, like, the same,
I like that he didn't give a yes or no.
No, it's just a very fun theory, and the fact that he didn't give an answer is just very fun. Yes. It fits with the theme of Tim Burton very well.
What a movie maker kind of answer.
I know, right?
Yes.
You know what? I'll
you know
whatever you want.
Sure.
Yeah,
let's go with that.
Yeah.
Every
every
story every story has a beginning, middle, and end.
But not necessarily in that order.
You could say that.
Aiden even runs away.
He's down the block. All right.
I gotta go.
Sorry,
Mom's
I
calling
gotta
me.
make the
Oh,
fourth.
I have to
I
make
gotta make the
Nightmare Before Christmas 2.
Sorry. Ooh.
Welcome to Easter.
Oh no.
Where he
Oh,
tries to make Easter.
Yeah. I will say, Nightmare Before Christmas is not my favorite Tim Burton movie.
What is?
What is your favorite? Is it gonna
Corpse
be?
Bride.
Oh, Corpse Bride
Corpse
is very
Bride is
good.
my favorite. I've
seen that one
seen. You haven't seen Corpse
In
Bride?
a long time.
It's good.
Oh my gosh!
Like
It's-
once when it came out.
I think the story is a little more well developed
Okay.
in that movie, and I like the characters a lot more in that film.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the animation has gotten better
Yeah.
since Nightmare Before Christmas.
I noticed that it was pretty good at the time. Like you could definitely
For-
see that.
yeah.
You could definitely see
Oh,
that
yeah.
they struggled to make the movie.
Yes.
Like it was just so hard to make, and I'm like,
Yes.
you just
And they did it
appreciate
very well, yeah.
You just
Yeah.
appreciate that, and then Corpse Bride comes out, and it's like, oh, they mastered this. They're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen Frankenweenie once.
Me too.
It's not bad.
It was fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Is Coraline Tim Burton?
No.
No, that is
It's,
like a
what
I
is
was I was gonna make a joke and say Coraline is my favorite Tim Burton movie. It's not Tim Burton.
Yeah,
Okay.
Leica Studios did Coraline. I don't know if you've ever seen Paranorman.
Okay, I was gonna ask about Paranormal
Because
too.
honestly,
it's the kid that can see dead people. I mean,
Yes.
my favorite like stop motion creepy Halloweenish
Okay.
movie is Paranorman.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
yeah.
There's another one that they've done. I don't think it's not Halloween. Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah, I
That's
saw that. That's a
very
very good
new.
movie.
It is. It's
Is
rather
it
new.
good?
It's a good
Leica
movie.
Studios
Okay.
is still making movies.
Yeah.
They just made that one about Bigfoot.
Oh, that's
The
them
Missing
too?
Link?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the
Yes.
Hugh Jackman one.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
The one- and-
the Jack Human one.
Yeah, yeah. One of the movies
and-
that had me and Julio down by the schoolyard as the
Oh,
song.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I
That's
love
why
that
I
song.
like the trailer.
I
I'm
love
like,
that
oh,
song.
good song.
Yeah.
That means I want to watch it.
Yes.
I mean,
They also made a movie called Box Trolls, which was also very good.
I haven't even heard of that one.
Yeah.
Neither have I.
Their animation style, obviously it's stop motion.
No.
What?
What?
So it's similar to the stuff that Tim Burton has done, but I don't know. There's just this quality to it that just, I don't know.
They made it their
It's
own?
better.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really different, and the stories too. Just really, really have
Coraline's
this
story was-
emotional.
Amazing.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Well,
It also was originally a book.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was Frankenweenie, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was. Also, there was a live action Frankenweenie.
It was. Yeah,
first.
yeah. Like 1950s or something. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Didn't know
Um,
that until
I
like
think
a couple
yeah.
weeks ago.
I literally looked up Tim Burton, and then the live action Frankenweenie came up. I'm like, what? Wait,
It's like,
what?
excuse
Wait,
me?
oh, wait,
I didn't
huh?
know
Is
this
Tim
existed.
Burton immortal? I'm like, what?
I
Well,
wouldn't
yeah.
be
Oh,
surprised.
But,
I thought that was common knowledge.
Yeah. So I noticed that while watching Nightmare Before Christmas and then looking at all the Halloween movies, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that the genre of stop motion Halloween actually exists, and
Yes.
it's one of the best genres
And
out
it's
It
there.
is.
amazing.
I've been I actually was like thinking about this a lot recently.
Yeah.
Because I think why it lends itself so well to like creepy Halloween movies is because claymation kind of hits that uncanny valley
It's the
sort
uncanny
of
va-
thing. Where it's like,
Everything-
I
really good
recognize
point.
this as like a human
Yeah.
face, but it's
But
not.
it's
a
always
little
off.
And so it makes you feel the creepy vibe.
And that just
Exactly.
adds to it. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Which is why Coraline works so well,
Mm-hmm.
because that entire movie, everything is already just a little off,
little
and then
off.
the claymation,
Yeah,
and then the
claymation just makes
claymation
it
just pushes
even
that
more.
a little further, and it.
Yes.
That's my favorite
Yeah.
of the Leica Studios.
Yeah, I also noticed that they made every claymation Halloween movie child digestible. Like,
Yes.
like kids can like it too.
Yeah.
For different reasons. Like I loved Coraline as a kid, but then I watched it again. And I'm like, wow, this movie was better than I thought it was.
Yeah.
I don't think children should watch that movie.
It's-
personally.
I know, it's a little...
It is.
It's a
crazy.
little
Definitely,
far.
when I watched it as a kid, it gave me nightmares.
Yeah, I liked it just because, okay, Coraline won, and I can beat a mom spider that's trying to put buttons on my eyes. I can beat that thing. Yeah, I liked the message of Coraline. I think is the best out of all the stop motion Halloween movies. Just because just as a kid, just like appreciate your parents just a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's literally the...
Yeah,
that's,
I think for kids it definitely has a really good message.
Yeah, just appreciate your life, and
Mm-hmm.
your parents are trying your best. They just are.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just not perfect. They're people too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
literally the message, and it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, and your life isn't perfect, and
Exactly.
you shouldn't strive for that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I actually didn't see Coraline until 2018.
Wow.
Oh.
2 years ago, yeah. First time I saw it. So I didn't appreciate my parents when I was a kid.
That's
That's the end of that story.
So now you just know to show it to your kids.
Yeah.
You're like, here, children, watch this
the first
movie.
complaint. The first
It'll
complaint.
scare the living daylights out of you, but you'll
But
love
you'll
me a
respect
lot
me
more.
more. So it's a win-win.
From age 8 and up, the first complaint, I'm like, watch this movie, and
Yeah.
then try
Then
to
come and talk to
then,
me.
yeah, then complain about something.
You're
You'll
like
be thankful.
But yeah,
Gosh.
I think I don't know. I haven't seen the Halloween Disney Channel movies since like middle school. or
So-
elementary school.
I was going to talk to you about this.
Okay.
I think we should do Halloween Town next week.
I think so too.
I think we have to. It's a terrible movie.
Here's the thing.
It's a terrible movie.
Halloween Town has 4 movies.
Yes,
Yeah.
they changed the main character.
Do not watch the 4th
In
one.
Return to
They
Halloween
changed the main
Town,
character, and it
Doesn't
the
make
story
sense.
doesn't move on from
No,
there at
yeah.
all. It doesn't even matter. So just watch the 3. It's a trilogy, in
Yeah.
my opinion. There is no 4th movie.
Literally, the only thing I remember from Halloween Town, I think 3 was Trappa and Apart.
Oh my
The
god.
reverse spell.
Yes.
Now we can travel back in time.
Yes.
What? And that's pretty much how they beat the bad guy, and that's how I remember.
Spoiler.
So bad.
It's so bad, but I want to watch it again
Oh,
so
I
badly.
saw the first Halloween Town again last year.
Okay.
Such
Yes.
a bad movie.
Okay.
It's so bad.
But think of it
But-
as you're watching it
but-
as a kid.
Yes. No, as a kid, I loved it.
Like,
I
literally
loved it as
the
a kid.
best.
It was the
and
best.
it's not, like, scary.
Not at all.
What
To
if
where-
my
Not really.
grandma's a witch?
What if my
Yeah,
grandma's a
it's
But a
witch?
good one.
Yes!
I loved that movie as a kid. I loved all of them as a kid. But I watched it again last year, and man, it is terrible.
I mean, you watch any movie.
Disney
I think
Channel
that
Yes.
movie was also early 90s.
This stands apart.
Yeah.
The Halloween Town stands apart from other Disney Channel original movies.
Well, okay,
as worse.
when you when you compare it to something like that Disney also put out at a similar time, which was Hocus Pocus, it's
Okay.
like obviously
Hocus Pocus is better.
it's better.
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus
It's
is
just
better.
That's also
even
bad,
the
though.
production value is better. Like
Objectively.
everything.
That also though was an actual like movie that came out in theaters
yeah.
though. It wasn't
Halloween
just a
Town
Disney
was
Channel,
the Disney Channel
yeah, original movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which I feel like a lot of DComs just have worse quality all around, except High School Musical. High School Musical is
actually
doesn't
genius.
apply.
The thing about
Yeah,
High School
that is the
Musical-
exception to the rule.
The thing about High School Musical and why it's the first one, because the next two got much higher production value.
Oh,
Yes.
like
The
so
first
much
one,
higher.
The reason you can
Yes.
not barely, but you can't really tell that the first one doesn't have a high production value is all they needed was a high school.
Yes.
They didn't really have to put. There was no CG or any kind of special effects in the movie. It
the
was just.
second one is just at a country club, I believe.
It
No,
is.
I'm just saying. Like, it's the reason the first one doesn't really strike itself as Disney Channel, like low production value
just
Disney Channel original movie,
Compared
is
to
because
the Disney Channel Disney
they
movies.
didn't have to spend money on anything.
No,
Yeah.
just like even the actors, because that's how
Zac
Zac
Efron,
Efron got.
Vanessa Hudgens, nobody knew who they were.
No, of course not.
So they paid them probably $7.
Yeah.
That,
Although-
the total production value of that movie was like $35, and
Although the director of both Hocus Pocus and High School Musical was Kenny Ortega.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just Kenny
so it's
Ortega.
just Kenny Ortega. That's
Genius
what
of
we're
Kenny
learning.
Ortega.
That's what we're learning.
I can make an essay on that. Just the genius.
Yeah.
Genius of Kenny Ortega.
And here's why High School Musical isn't like other DComs. Kenny Ortega.
Kenny Ortega.
Knowing the hearts of 10-year-olds and how to bring out the emotion in them. Oh man, I watched High School Musical again, like in March-ish.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yep.
It's a Disney Channel original movie, but as a Disney Channel original movie, it's actually really good.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's
The
actually a good
songs are actually like
Yes.
They're
Disney
catchy,
musical-esque,
they're fun.
like
Exactly.
A-tier.
Yeah.
The acting you just can't judge.
You just
have
gotta- you
to
gotta
go-
give it to 'em.
Yeah.
You just can't. You just can't judge them for that. Again, the dialogue you can't judge it for that
No.
either. the plot is actually kind of great.
It is.
It is.
It has a few flaws. Some of the things you're like...
certifiably not bad, which is better
But-
than most Disney Channel original
The execution
movies.
could have been better, but on paper, that plot was actually pretty good.
Yes.
The second one, the plot doesn't really make sense. It's a bunch of kids that don't want to work during the summer that have just stupid high school drama. That's the entire movie.
Go and get jobs anyway.
Yeah.
And
I've never seen
work the whole summer.
I've never seen
But think about it. Isn't that a high school summer after you turn 16?
Yeah,
It's a
but-
bunch of kids who don't want to work with drama.
Okay, watch
That's
it again.
high school after you turn 16.
Watch it again and see what they complain about. They say, "Oh, I have to clock in and clock out." Oh, come on. Oh, I have to wash the spoon. Oh, God. And then Troy...
A spoon.
Yeah.
I have to wash a spoon.
And then Troy's like, "Come on, guys, buck up." And then they
Also,
sing another song about
I
it.
don't know how they let, like, 16, 17-year-olds... like, actually make food for these guests.
No, none of
like,
them have ever made
There's
food
no,
before,
like, they
except
just
for that one
entrusted
guy
an
who
entire
makes
kitchen
souffles.
to them.
I know, she's like, yeah, I'm like over here just like burning someone's toast. And I'm like, it's because you're 17 years old and you're not watching the freaking toaster.
And
What's wrong with you?
You're singing a 3-minute song before that.
That toaster's supposed to
That's
go
like
off
a
in 30
toaster.
seconds.
And they serve it anyway. It's like the song's done, so
Whatever.
and that's
Yeah.
the only scene.
That's why, well, I think also it just like, I mean, then in the third movie, it's like, you know, they're about to go off to college. They're having to also then deal with like working jobs and things, but then also like trying to decide which college they're going to. And then one of them goes to college early. And it's like, I think they were just trying to compensate for the fact that all of the actors clearly by this point
Yeah.
looked like adults.
Mm-hmm.
And they were
it's
like, they're kind of done too.
Yes.
They just paid them a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, but
Yes.
adults have played kids for a very long time. My
Yes.
prime example that I always use is Tobey Maguire has looked 35 since he was born, and he played a 15-year-old in Spider-Man.
And it was
So-
no, he played 18-year-old. He graduated in the movie.
Or,
In the first one?
He graduated in the beginning of the first one.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not.
Harry Osborn,
It's been like 6
Mary
years
Jane
since I've
Watson,
seen the Tobey
and
Maguire
Peter
movies.
Parker graduated, and then that's when Harry Osborn comes up and saying, "Oh, I'm something of a scientist myself," at the graduation ceremony, and then it cuts to him turning into Green Goblin.
Still, he looks 35. Not.
Oh no, I'm not saying
Willem
it's
Dafoe.
right.
I
Not
was
Willem
like,
Dafoe.
I
I'm
haven't
talking
seen
about
that
Tobey
movie.
Maguire.
Don't speak to it.
Willem Dafoe looks 35 in every movie.
Well, that's actually a compliment
Yeah,
for him,
yeah,
because
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like 50-something now.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I need to watch those again.
Yeah, it's been a long time since
Did
I've
you
seen
hear about the Spider-Man 3 rumors?
Oh, yes.
All of them are going to be in it? All
Yes.
of the Spider-Man?
I thought it was confirmed that they all...
Sony didn't confirm it. It's literally just a
It's-
rumor, I believe.
Okay.
But
I
it's
think,
like-
Because I thought I saw a thing on Twitter where like somebody like they had confirmed.
I think
it.
someone on the inside leaked that they were like part of the project.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like basically confirmed, but not officially confirmed.
Oh,
Like,
we all know.
It's probably
we
going to happen.
know.
Here's the thing: all of us are expecting them to be in the entire movie and be part of the.
No, they're
I
going to be
think-
cameos.
I think they're just
I
gonna
was
be
like,
like
I
a
think they're
minute
gonna
cameo.
show
If
up for,
anything,
like-
it's going to be cameos, but I'm fine with that. That'd
Even
be
just
great.
like an
That'd
extra
be great.
credit scene of
Yes.
just like
All of
here's
them
a
together?
super fun 15-second scene
I don't
Yes.
even care how long it is. I just want to see them all in the same
and
room.
point at each other.
That's all I
Yes.
want. And do the pointing scene. Yeah.
They even made fun of that in Spider-Verse, just
In
like
Spider-Verse at the end.
at the end, the end credit scene. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? In the-
Yes.
The end credit-
It was
where
like
they're
20
just-
minutes.
they're
Yes,
just
I did.
making-
Who are you?
They just,
Who are you?
they just did the meme. It's great.
It's like this isn't a teaser for the second one. They just wanted to do the
This
meme.
is just a meme.
Yes.
I think,
But
yeah,
also a teaser for the second one, because Spider-Man 2099,
yeah,
which is kind of fun.
true.
Speaking of movie news that I heard recently, they're making another Haunted Mansion movie,
Yes, they are.
and
Wait,
it's
what?
and it's the director is the same lady that did Ghostbusters Females.
Okay, I liked
female
that movie.
Ghostbusters. You're
I
the-
thought it was funny.
You're the only one that
Okay.
Also, I don't care. Also, here's the thing. I'm not upset because of the director. I'm upset because the film was supposed to be. So they made this announcement back in 2015
Yeah.
that they were going to make another Haunted Mansion movie because the one with Eddie Murphy tanked.
Oh no, it totally did.
But it's so good.
I love it, but it's terrible. It's better than the female Ghostbusters
thing,
movie.
here's the thing.
You can't really compare those, but it is.
Yes, but the thing is that about that movie is that I felt like it did a good job of like kind of telling the story of the Haunted Mansion.
See-
but then they just threw Eddie Murphy in there, which he was just Eddie Murphy.
I mean, at the time,
He
he did
wasn't-
all the the dad in all the comedies.
Yes.
At the time.
And so that's just who he was.
So
Yeah.
what?
He didn't play into the
No,
story at all.
the story had nothing to do with the characters.
Yes.
At all.
It was
I
the
mean,
house.
yeah, it was about the house,
Yes.
and that was what was important.
Yes.
What I'm worried about is they're gonna take it. So what I think the original Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion did right is it took the Haunted Mansion and then made it into a movie, and it made a storyline out of what was in the Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
What I'm worried about for the next movie is they're gonna take it and make a whole new story, and then reformat the ride and change the ride to fit the story of the movie rather than making the movie around the ride.
Right.
And I love that ride, and I
Which-
do not want it to change.
I don't want it to change either. I wish there was a more consistent storyline throughout
That is the
because,
problem.
Yeah, because when they were making the ride,
They're just like, oh, here's
they had
another
a
room.
bunch of
Here's
different
another room.
ideas
Yeah.
that they kind of just mishmashed together, and you can kind of see remnants of all the different ideas and all
Yeah.
the different
Yeah.
rooms and
And
everything.
it's awesome.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I just wish there was a consistent backstory to like why the mansion exists, why certain characters are here and whatnot.
Even just like
And-
adding a voiceover over it just to explain it.
Yeah,
A little
I mean,
bit.
like the
I don't care how
like
I like how
disembodied like
random it
ghost
is.
host
Yeah,
is
the
kind
ghost
of
host is
narrating
fun.
you through
Okay,
the
yeah,
ride
yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, like even like the characters of like Constance Hatchaway and like the Hatbox Ghost and like people like that in the
Ball
mansion.
lady.
Yeah, Madame Leota.
Madame Leota.
Yeah.
Like
don't know
there
those.
are
Madame
stories
Leota.
there, and like people. There are some, like, articles I've seen and whatnot where they've talked to different Imagineers who have kind of given backstories to these characters, which are very interesting. I mean, like, Constance Hatchaway, obviously, like, she is, the bride who always killed off her husbands and whatnot. And this last husband supposedly was the one who owned the mansion and was supposedly the brother of the guy who made the Hollywood Tower of Terror.
Okay.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
So there's like this whole interconnected like
I like
storyline.
that.
Yeah. But so
He's like,
why I'm
brain's
upset,
working right now.
I know.
My
Why
brain is
I'm
going.
upset is because back in 2015 they said they were going to make another Haunted Mansion movie and that it was going to be directed by Guillermo del Toro.
That's what I originally heard, too.
starring Ryan Gosling.
I thought that was
as,
just a rumor.
as the Hatbox Ghost, and was going to revolve around his life and how he got to be the
they
Hatbox
never made
Ghost.
that movie?
No.
That-
Because
now
La La
that
Land instead?
I heard that rumor, and then I thought it was just a rumor, which is why, like, I
No,
only
they like actually announced it like at a D23 Expo.
did
Okay.
not. I just wasn't paying attention when that happened.
Yeah. So
People are 15.
then when they
Yeah.
came out, I mean, like it was like a month or so ago, and they came out and said that this is
The-
now the new
the
direction they
new-
were going
yeah.
in. I was like, no. Why would you do that?
'Cause-
It's just gonna end up being another misplaced comedy because Guillermo
Yeah.
del Toro would have put more of a darker spin on
Which
it.
is what it kind of
Yeah.
needs.
Which is what it needs. It is darker. It's morbidly funny.
See,
it's
Haunted
not just
Mansion-
like funny with a hint of like, oh, there's death.
Yeah.
The movie just did the early 2000s goof
Yeah.
that it had, and I'm like, okay,
But-
this is like a fun movie, but like, it just doesn't add to the actual creepiness of the house,
No,
which
it
it's supposed to
doesn't
have.
add anything to the house. But the Eddie Murphy movie does a surprisingly good job of kind of stitching all the different
Yeah.
like
everything's in
vignettes
it.
together.
Everything's in it.
Like like why is that guy hanging at the beginning when you're standing in the elevator? Who is the bride? Then it kind of puts that all that together. Then then they kind of just throw like the hitchhiking ghosts in there and whatever.
Yeah.
But it does it like and like the whole graveyard whatever scene.
Yeah.
It does an actually surprisingly decent job of stitching all of that together.
The dancing ghost in the dining hall was very good in the
And
movie. I think.
that
Yeah.
makes sense. And they took that from the ride and made it make sense in the context of the story. Of the
That's what
movie.
made it like enjoyable to watch.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they
oh,
did a
that's another thing. Oh, that's
surprisingly
another
good
thing.
job
Yeah.
putting all that stuff together. What I'm worried about is they're just going to make an entirely new story,
Yeah.
like they did with, kind of like what they did with Pirates.
A little
but
bit, yeah.
Pirates, I feel,
They did that right.
yeah, they did it right.
Yes.
But I feel it's easier to do that with because even before there was a ride, and obviously before there was a movie, the concept and the IP of Pirates was a widely known thing. Everybody knew what a pirate was.
It's a very vague
It's
concept.
very vague, and it had like there's a whole world that like people kind of know about, just
Yeah.
about how pirates work and everything. So they had a lot to build off of.
Yeah.
So then the ride was very vague, and then the movie just kind of
The
added
ride
stuff
only
to
had
it.
Jack Sparrow, I believe. And then even the movie has references to the
ride.
ride.
No, the
ride also
ride
has
came
Captain
first.
Barbosa.
Right,
And
you're
the
right, you're
ride-
right.
And has also
Originally-
added in Davy Jones
They
and
did.
they added Davy
Blackbeard.
Jones. Did they add
Did they?
Blackbeard?
His voice.
Okay.
At the very end of the ride.
And yeah, but they
I don't know.
added.
As you're, like,
they
coming
kind
out
of
of the
just
tunnel.
added those characters rather than changing the story of the ride.
Yes.
They just threw Jack Sparrow in there.
Yes.
They threw Barbosa in there, adding to the context of the ride.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's very easy to do because they made a vague pirates ride, and then you can just put your own pirates in each of the roles.
Yeah.
The thing with Haunted Mansion is that was kind of an original IP for Disneyland. Like, yeah.
Disney doesn't have
haunted,
pirates, but it has the haunted.
No,
mansion.
it has Walt came up with the idea of the haunted mansion. Yeah, haunted houses and ghosts and whatever were a thing long before that.
But that's the
this
Disney.
this specific haunted mansion is like it is its own IP.
Right.
So it's gonna be a lot harder to make a movie and then make the ride pertain to the movie without completely changing the ride.
Exactly.
So you want a reboot of just retrying.
I don't want a new movie. I don't want a new movie, and I want the ride to stay the same.
I wanted
because it's a great ride.
I wanted a new movie when they said they were going to expand upon one of the characters that already existed
If it
in
was
the
just
ride.
that, yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that they... I don't know what they're going to do with this new movie.
They didn't announce like what direction
Right.
it was.
Because originally when they had, been talking about the Guillermo del Toro version, they had said he mainly wanted to create a movie that was a world where the Haunted Mansion would exist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
not
like,
just like that
not
ordinary.
Not a
just
story
like-
in the haunted mansion.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So it's like, I'm imagining like, a group of kids stumble upon this like kind of dilapidated, haunted looking
Yeah,
mansion.
And that's lame.
And it, right.
That,
and so
that's
it's
a story that's been done a million times.
because it's like, it's out of the ordinary. Like,
That's
create
Monster House.
that is Monster
Yes.
House. Like,
Pretty
create
much.
another good animated,
That's a good animated movie.
Halloween movie.
Yeah.
I
The
did that on
animation of the
accident.
Yeah.
movie is very weird.
It creeped
It
me out
is.
as a kid. It's a
very
good movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is a good movie. Anyway.
But like create like a darker world where the mansion could feasibly just exist on a street and people like wouldn't, think twice about
Yeah.
it. But it's got this like really dark backstory to it. Like that to me feels like it would be way more entertaining than the same story we've gotten over and
A
over and
million
over
times
again.
in any haunted mansion
Yeah.
or haunted house movie. That
Right.
has
And
been done.
I mean, I like that they have stuck to like just the original haunted mansion. I mean, they could have gone because every single haunted mansion at all the other parks has a different story. Like the one in Disney World is like completely different.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The one in Paris is also very, very different.
Paris is a terrible
that one's
park,
in French,
though.
though.
That's what I've heard.
I don't want to speak to that. I want to go there someday.
Yeah, it
and
doesn't mean I don't
experience it for
wanna go there.
myself. Yeah. But
That's just what I've heard. Yeah.
yeah,
I haven't
and then
been there, so.
I think the one it's in either
There's one
Tokyo
in Tokyo.
or
There's
Shanghai.
one in Shanghai. There's one in both.
It's not even called the Haunted Mansion though. It's like the something mystery.
What?
Yeah.
The House of Mysteries?
Something. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it translates to, but it's not even like a haunted mansion thing because that wouldn't have translated to their culture. So they made it like
Oh,
a
that's
whole-
good. I like
Yeah,
that, though.
Yeah.
They made like a whole. It's like a house run by this explorer guy who collects a bunch of different artifacts from all over the
Oh,
world.
it's the collector.
And sure, but some of them are cursed, and so
that's
then
cool.
as you're going through the ride, like the curse comes
That's
alive,
pretty cool.
and yeah,
That's pretty. So, yeah, that's like the Mummy ride in Universal Studios, a little bit.
a little bit.
bit.
I don't remember it because
Oh, the whole thing is
I've
this
written
is
it.
the explorer guy says, "Don't look into the mummy's eyes," and then the ride's like into the mummy's like,
And
"Oh
then they
no!"
make you
And
look
then,
into
and
his
then
eyes.
it's a whole yeah.
I mean, I've written it once and I closed my eyes
okay.
most of the way and screamed.
It's literally all dark. So like,
well, then you go backwards.
yeah, that's a cool thing about it.
No, I was
Well,
terrified.
that's cool.
The lady sitting next to me when we got to the end of the ride was cracking up, and she's like, "I'm so glad I sat next to you." That was so funny. I was like, I'm like crying. I'm like,
That's-
"You're welcome."
That's one thing that I'm gonna miss. Stuff like after theme parks open, stuff at least for a long time, stuff like that is not gonna happen because you're not gonna be sitting
Yeah.
next to random people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss just random interactions like
just
that.
random.
Yeah, just completely
interactions
random
with people.
stuff.
The best part I think about riding Disneyland rides, especially the rides that just aren't all thrill, it's just you just riding the ride,
Yeah.
is people like Cars or Indiana Jones. It's just you're just kind of like going
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
the world. Is people, and it's like supposed to be kind of intense at some parts.
Yes.
People behind you that's kind of like taking it seriously. That's my favorite part about riding rides.
If you're on the Indiana Jones ride, if you get in the driver's seat, you have to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Of course!
You have to be like, you gotta like hold on to your hat while you're driving and everything. You're like,
And then the
this
person
way.
next to you is like, give me the wheel,
Yeah.
you're doing terrible.
I always turn back to people like, I'm sorry, I just got my license.
It's like, I actually don't have it, I don't know why I'm here.
You
Or
have
something
to
like
take
that.
it way too seriously, and everybody enjoys that. Everybody enjoys that.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, and
Yes.
I don't know, it's gonna be years until that happens.
It's gonna be a couple years until it gets back to normal.
Mystic Manor. That is the name
that
of
it?
the
Okay,
ride.
nice.
It's
Got it.
I was going around my head. I'm like,
House of Mystery.
yeah, I have some
That's good because I wanted to backtrack to that a little bit. What I would actually like in terms of media that comes from the Haunted Mansion ride is all of the different like rooms or vignettes or whatever had like a 15-20 minute short,
Yes.
just kind of doing a little story for each room,
Well, that's
Like a
just like
Disney
a
Plus
mini
story.
series. Yeah,
Right.
Disney Plus
like a mini
miniseries.
series that was like the story of like what's happening in that room.
yes.
Rather than a
that's-
movie trying to intertwine all of the different rooms
Right,
together.
because I mean that's the thing. Like I've done my own sort of like research and looked into different things and like the different backstories of some of the characters in the ride, and it's like
As a
Madam-
Disneyland connoisseur.
Oh, of
so.
course, of course. And the Haunted Mansion being my favorite ride, I'm like,
It's
I
the
need
best
to
ride.
know.
It's the best ride.
And it's like Madame Leota was like a fortune teller in New Orleans, and then somehow got involved with the owner of the mansion, and like they got in some sort of argument or something, and so then he trapped her in the crystal ball, and that's why she's in the
Okay.
mansion.
If it was just
Like-
little shorts of how,
right.
like little 15-20 minute short episodes of how each character or each room happened to, and everyone got into the house
Yes.
and everything, and how they're all there together.
Exactly.
They did
That
that,
would
for
be great.
They did that for a Black Mirror episode. Black Museum.
The Black Museum,
They,
yeah.
they gave
That
you a
was fun.
room, and then there was a tour of like, here's one, and here's how this happened.
Yeah.
And here's one. and
Because
here's
it's
how
just,
this
it's
happened.
understood that, like, the main premise of the Haunted Mansion is that it is a retirement home for ghosts. So it's like,
I didn't know that.
okay, well,
There you
welcome.
go.
That's
to
why,
knowledge.
that's why they say, like, we have 999 happy haunts here.
Okay.
There's always room for 1,000. It's like, and, like, you know, you can go and check in, but you never leave.
Yeah.
Come back.
Like,
Be sure to bring your
be
death
sure to bring your
certificate.
death certificate. And so, like that's why there's so many ghosts from all over the world. Like you go through the cemetery and there's like Vikings and a mummy and a knight with there's all these different kinds of ghosts because they've just checked into a retirement home.
That's great.
But then there's those like consistent characters of like Madame Leota, Constance, and
Yeah.
the Hatbox Ghost, and you're like, okay, well, obviously you're like a prominent like figure. So
And
what's your story?
Yeah.
Where did you come from? How did this even become a retirement for retirement home for
How did it
ghosts?
become the Haunted Mansion?
Right, yeah. How
I
did
want
it
the
become
lore.
the haunted? Yes,
Yeah.
I want it, and I want
The
it
lore.
now. And that's what I wanted from the original Haunted Mansion movie. But they kind of did that with the story of like Master Gracie, who
Yeah.
fell in love, and then she died, and so then he got so upset that
And
he
it's
killed
not
himself.
great,
And then
but they found a way to stitch it together,
They
which
did.
I am surprised about.
I just imagine them sitting in a room like, okay. How are we going to tie in this lady trapped in a crystal ball who just kind of sits there and makes instruments float above her
And
head?
singing
Eddie Murphy.
and singing
bus
How about-
in a
in a
graveyard.
graveyard. How do we put those two
How
together?
do we make them work?
Eddie Murphy runs into a room and gets trapped in
Somebody
it.
just writes Eddie Murphy on the board, and they're like, "Yes,
Yeah, we got it!
Cracked it.
Millions of dollars right there.
Because
Everyone saw Daddy Daycare, right?
Everyone saw that, right?"
Here. Oh my god.
We should just do that.
Because
Ghosts.
I kind of, the way they spun it was very much like Beauty and the Beast, sort of, where it's like you had these people who worked in the castle, lived in the castle, when all of a sudden this curse happened, and so that everyone
It is
who was
Beauty and the Beast.
so
Sort of.
everyone who was in the castle then became an
Part of the
inanimate
curse.
object.
Yeah.
And so, like, it kind of feels like the same thing with the Haunted Mansion. There were all these people who lived in the mansion, like the maid and the butler and, the master of the house and everything,
And all-
who
and all
then,
the- yeah.
when, all of this happened, they just became ghosts.
Yeah, it's
And it's like, I wanted more of a story than that.
So needless to say, why I started this entire conversation, I'm just very nervous about that movie.
Me too.
I really want it to be good.
Me too. I want it
but
to
it's
be
gonna be
so
very
good.
hard.
So is it in
to make it
production
good.
or just still being written?
It's
or?
still being written.
Okay.
They haven't actually. I mean, they can't really start any production right now.
Yeah, it's true.
And they haven't even announced like who's in it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing they've announced is who's directing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Do you want to fix the lighting a little bit?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
We're very dark.
So, not to, it's still Disney, but did you guys see the teaser for Raya and the Last Dragon?
I did, and I was
actually
like,
haven't seen
oh,
it.
so we're just doing the Dragon Prince, but Disney.
Oh, I was gonna say we're just doing Moana, but again. So
I haven't seen it yet.
it's basically Moana again. I mean, it's exactly the same
Well,
kind
so
of.
have you seen the Dragon Prince?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's a series on Netflix.
Okay.
It's animated. I don't know
It's
who.
from the creators of Last Airbender.
Yes, it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. The
I
guy
haven't
who
heard of that.
played Sokka is in
Okay.
it.
Oh.
Have you seen Last Airbender?
Of course, I've seen myself.
Okay. I don't know. We've never talked
I
about
watched
it.
it. I watched it when it was on TV.
Okay, so
And then I recently rewatched
you're
the
an
whole
OG.
series.
You're an OG.
course.
Okay.
But it's very similar from what I saw in the trailer. It's like, you know, you have these different people groups who are at war with each
Yeah.
other because a certain mystical creature, a dragon, has, you know, supposedly gone extinct, but then there happens to be
The
one
last one,
one. And they didn't know, and you have to go and find it and let everybody
then
know that you
Raya's gonna
found the
do it.
last
So
dragon.
it's the best episode of Last Airbender.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Yeah.
The dragon one.
Oh
the
yeah.
dragon one. The only one with dragons in.
Yeah.
Dragons.
I was gonna say it's like Moana, where it's like, oh, there's something that needs to restore the imbalance of the
Yeah.
universe, and a 20s, like a 20-year-old dark-skinned high hierarchy non-princess is going to save the world.
Non-princess.
Yes.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
That's Disney. That's not just Moana.
Oh, I know.
Yes, it is
It's also
just
Mulan
Disney.
and everything.
Yes, and everything else.
But like, it's also the same animation and everything. I'm like, it's just,
I know.
Yeah.
it's gonna be musical too, right?
I don't know,
I
actually.
can't see it.
I'm
not
going to
being
say
musical.
probably.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
Disney.
It's Frozen and Moana's creators, so.
Yeah. I'm going to say
But,
probably.
yeah, yeah. I was like, I mean, sure. if
If
you
it-
want to do that,
I haven't. I haven't seen it yet.
that's
so-
fine, I guess.
I'm gonna watch it probably still.
But did you see that they are going to release the new Pixar movie Soul
Yes!
straight to Disney Plus?
Yes, I'm
That's
excited
cool.
about that.
I'm excited for that
And
movie.
they're not making you pay anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
That's
for it.
even better.
Just
You
your
know why?
subscription
Because
that you're
Pixar
already paying.
actually likes what they do,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
it's a
well,
cash
and I
grab.
think they might have learned from Mulan. They're
But
like,
they also,
people didn't
but Onward,
like that we
but
charged
Onward was
them.
free too.
Yes, but they had
Onward
already
was
put it
free.
into theaters a couple weeks before.
That's why they did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Did they?
So,
Yeah.
yes, because
I'm
we went and
excited
saw
for
it in
Soul.
theaters.
And then-
Soul
yeah.
looks good.
Yes, Soul looks
I was
very good.
super excited about Soul when the teaser came out.
Me
and I'm
too.
like, this looks really, really good, and I
Yeah.
think this might be like another. I'm gonna cry. A little
Oh
bit.
yeah,
A
it's
little
gonna be
bit,
another Inside Out all over
Jamie
again.
it's Jamie Foxx and Inside Out. That's really what the movie. I'm so excited for
It's gonna be
it.
great.
November,
Like,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, Christmas.
Christmas. Oh yeah, it is Christmas. You're
Yes.
right.
Yeah, Christmas Day
Okay.
is when they're putting it out. And I was
It
like,
was
"Cool."
gonna be November.
Which is nice because, you know, me and my family, we had this tradition of we'd always go see a new movie that they put out on Christmas.
Yeah.
And now we can just watch Soul.
I've only done that once, and that's when Daddy's Home, starting Will Ferrell and Mark
Oh,
Wahlberg, came out.
Oh, why that movie?
I was 13 when that movie came out, and my brother was 8 and said, I want to watch this movie. Will Ferrell's in it. And then my dad's like,
Poppy.
uh-oh. And then my dad's like,
Hey.
it'll be until like 4 hours until we go to our grandma's house. Let's go. We have time to spare. And we saw it, and that's that story.
Wow. Yeah.
That I like that Christmas tradition of like, there's more free time on Christmas Day than people actually.
Oh yeah,
think.
like you
like,
open
there's a lot of
presents,
time,
you
yeah.
have Christmas dinner, and then you're like, now what?
See, my schedule for Christmas is we wake up at around like 9. Or I wake up at 7 every, like 6 or 7, because I'm still a child that wants Christmas morning to be magical.
Wake up!
Yeah, seriously though. And my mother does too, and we've been like playing video games in the morning every Christmas, just because we just wait for our parents to get up. That I think still purposely wait a little bit because they can.
Of course. Yeah.
And then we all get coffee, and then at like around 9 or 10 we open presents, and then we're done at like 11:30, and then we have like, and then 4 is when we leave to my grandma's house to do Christmas dinner and do like Christmas.
So you got
there.
plenty of time.
So we have like 4 hours of free time, and then we've been usually just doing like everyone just like kind of do their own thing until 4.
Yes.
Because we're like, what else are we gonna do?
Right.
So yeah, I'm excited for Christmas.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie on Christmas.
Daddy's home.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
You've been through a lot.
Yeah, I am.
One other thing I wanted to bring up, because Kinsey's on and you're Disney,
Wonderful.
they confirmed
You are Disney.
the whole. You are Disney. They
you.
confirmed the whole Princess and the Frog for Splash Mountain.
Yes,
thing,
they did.
Which we talked about when you and Corey were on, but it wasn't confirmed at the time.
Yes.
And we all wanted it to be that really bad,
Yeah.
and it has since been confirmed.
And
I'm very excited.
So excited. It fits perfectly
I was gonna
into
say, it's
that
perfectly.
part.
In 20 years, they're gonna look
Because-
back at like, how is this not made for this ride?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
It is
Well,
perfect for
what
it.
I'm hoping is then they kind of do away with like the Critter Country portion of it and turn it into a sort of like
I would love an
Swamp.
extension.
It's gonna be like more of a swamp.
You know what I would
thing.
love
Yes,
is an
like a
extension
bayou
of New
kind
Orleans
of-
Square.
Yes,
Because
I
New
would-
Orleans Square is already like right over there, kind of. So if they just extend the New Orleans vibe
You know
all
what?
the way over there,
That would be perfect.
And I'm really,
And just
I
make it a
really
bayou
want
back
them
there.
to redo the restaurant that's right next to the Haunted Mansion and make it Tiana's Place.
How have they not done that
Tiana's
already?
Place, Tiana's Place would be so good. They already have jazz bands playing there all the time
I
and stuff.
know!
At
How have
that
they not done
restaurant.
that already?
Come on.
That's what I'm
I am now
saying.
upset.
I think they need to. I think they're. In order to make Tiana's Place, in my mind, to make it what it should be, they need a larger footprint of a building
Yes.
than
Okay.
what is than that restaurant that's over by Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
That building's
Yeah,
a little
you're
bit too small to make a Tiana's Place the way it should be.
Yes. They could take the bear-themed restaurant that's right next to Splash
The Hungry
Mountain.
Bear, you mean?
The Hungry Bear? I didn't
How
know
have they
the
not-
I actually don't. I don't
How
know
did
if
they
that's
not
the
take
name. I
that
just
down
made that
already?
up.
What?
I just
How
made
have
that
they
up.
not taken that down already? Like,
Well,
I've-
because-
I've never even like looked at it before.
Because the Winnie the Pooh ride is right next to it,
Oh.
so it makes
And you
somewhat
can't take the
sense.
poo right out.
No, I'm not saying
You
that.
can't
I'm
take
saying,
out
Can't
Pooh's
take that
Corner.
No, of course
ride.
not. I'm taking the restaurant. Like, no one actually go. Like, people. I don't know.
Wait, is
I've
the
always
Hungry
ignored
Bear
it.
the one that's right over on the river?
It's right. It's now
Yes,
next to
it's
Star
right
Wars.
next to the
I
Rivers
keep
of
calling it the
America.
Hungry Bear. I have
I
no
don't
idea
know
what
what
it's
it's
called.
called,
I'm just calling
actually.
it that.
Exactly.
I don't actually know what it's called. But it leads, the pathway right next to that restaurant now leads into Galaxy's
Into Galaxy's. Okay, so
Yes.
yes, I know the restaurant you're talking about. It's just I've been there for chicken fingers.
It's so out
That's
of the
what I've
way.
been
I
there
went
for.
there once for like some sort of special dessert that they had, like during holiday season or something.
I've been there once for chicken fingers
But
because we
yeah,
were over there.
it wasn't. I mean, it's not.
All I
anything
remember
special.
ever thinking about that place is there should be a walkway here that goes around the backside of this. And now apparently there is
And now
because
there is.
Galaxy's Edge. So
Yes.
because like you walk over there and you're on a path and it seems
Yeah.
like it should keep going and then it just stops right there and
Yeah.
you're like, what? Where
And
am
now
I?
it does.
And now it keeps going. So
Yeah,
that's great.
they actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Is like I think the only hindrance to making that like a bayou themed corner is like because the Winnie the Pooh ride is there, and it's like
Yeah, and-
okay, well then where are you gonna put Pooh? Like I feel
You
like
can't just move Pooh.
you can't just move Pooh. So I feel like maybe I mean Winnie the Pooh feels a lot more like a Fantasyland sort of ride.
That's
to
a really
me.
good point because it is.
It is.
It literally is.
The only reason it is where it is because
It's
they
because
had a
it was
Critter
Critter
Country.
Country.
So they were like, oh, we'll put
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh in Critter Country.
Yes.
But now Critter Country's racist, so they need to move it.
Well, no, Splash Mountain is
No, Splash Mountain.
Racist.
Splash Mountain has always been racist.
Yeah.
They're just
not Critter Country as a whole, but
No.
Splash
Yeah,
Mountain
yeah.
has, yeah.
But they used to
That movie,
have
yikes.
the whole like what is it like a bear jamboree
I
show
don't-
or
I don't
something
know.
with
They did.
animatronic bears.
I don't
And
know. Who do you
whatnot.
think I am? Some kind of old person?
Now you are.
I don't remember ever
Neither do
seeing
I.
that show or going there. I don't even know if I was alive when that existed.
All I remember is that the best moment of my life is when I met Pooh Bear at 2 years old.
Oh
and
my
Oh,
gosh,
I actually,
it's the best.
the same thing happened to me, apparently, and this was, I don't even remember this. I was 2 or 4 or something. I don't remember this.
Mm-hmm.
But my brother was always scared of the characters
Yeah.
for some
Yes.
reason.
It's a thing.
But I loved Winnie the Pooh so much that the first time I saw the character Winnie the Pooh at Disneyland, I just sprinted towards him and hugged him.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
remember that, but my parents always
That's
tell that
so
story.
precious.
He was your hero.
Because
were
I
just like,
I loved
see
Winnie the
Pooh.
Pooh so much.
I need
And I was
to
like 2
hug
years
him.
old, and my mind was just like,
Hug
Winnie the
him.
Pooh!
I was also, I think I was scared of him too, but it was more like starstruck kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
That
think it
makes
was like,
sense.
this is my literal hero,
Yes.
and I don't want to mess it up.
I was
I just like trying to cry.
I was like, this is my friend. I'm gonna hug him.
Yeah, okay.
That's so precious.
Yeah. Winnie the Pooh is legitimately like a good place for good philosophy. Like
Yes.
it's like actually like it's a good place of saying like life is literally just it's your own playground.
Yep.
You do what you will.
Yep.
Eat as much honey as you can and be happy all the time. It's like so
Exactly.
pure.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
And that's why I liked it. It's just I was also in a Winnie the Pooh Winnie the Pooh musical. I played Owl. And it was called Attack of the Huffalumps.
Oh, that's fun.
And literally the whole
Heffalumps?
the Heffalumps, and literally the whole play is like the characters are just scared that we thought we saw a Heffalump, and then we're all just singing songs about it. And then Christopher Robin comes in and is like, "There's no such thing." And you know what? I got it for you guys, and that's the whole play. And it's a whole musical.
gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah, my house was a step stool. It was like a 3-thing step stool, and it was like a tree. Yeah, that was really
fun.
good. That was super good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
See, I don't want them to get rid of the Winnie the Pooh
They
ride.
can't.
They
can
would just
move
like
it.
them
That's-
to move it.
It's not that easy to
maybe?
move things.
No, they can't.
though.
Oh, yeah, no.
I know.
And where in Fantasyland? I don't even remember Fantasyland that much, so I don't know if there is space. But where would they even put
Well,
it in
I
Fantasyland?
mean, maybe they could get rid of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Hey,
I love Mr.
who
Toad's
doesn't
Wild
like
Ride.
Mr. Toad's Wild
It's
Ride?
the scariest ride in the whole
dare
park.
you?
How do you?
How dare
Literally
you?
Go to hell.
You die and go
Yeah.
to hell, and then
And it's terrifying.
and the devil tortures you for life.
Also, they maybe could do away with the Pinocchio ride. That one is
I don't remember
terrifying.
that one. That one's also terrifying.
They say the A word, which is not suitable for
But no,
children.
they're talking about donkeys.
Because they're talking
They're
about
talking about
donkeys,
donkeys.
and they call
Oh,
And I'm
got
like-
it.
them. This is for children.
Yeah.
Since when has this been okay? Oh gosh.
Oh, that's great. And they can't get rid of. They can't get
They
rid of
can't
Mr.
get-
Toad's
They
Wild
can't-
Ride.
you
They
can't
can't
get
get
rid
rid of pretty much
You
anything
can't
in
get rid of
Fantasyland.
Peter Pan. You can't get rid of Snow
No,
White.
Peter
You
Pan
can't get
is-
rid of King Arthur's Carousel.
No, you can't.
You can't get rid of pretty much anything in Fantasyland because almost all of them were like first day openers. You're not going to get rid of the originals.
No. Did you know? This is tangent, little off topic. So they have that sword in the stone
Yeah.
right in front of
Mm-hmm.
the carousel. That is not Excalibur in the stone. It's just King Uther's sword, which was King Arthur's father. He didn't get Excalibur until he met the Lady in the Lake, who then gave him Excalibur.
Yeah, but the movie,
Oh,
the
you're talking about the
cartoon,
movie.
the
Yeah.
cartoon's a little different.
I know, but it's
The
wrong.
cartoon Excalibur is in the stone.
We've been lied to since we were children.
Yeah, but in the cartoon,
But
the
the cartoon's
sword
right,
is, the
though.
sword in the stone is Excalibur.
You could also
so
say that
whatever.
about Tangled, but they changed the Rapunzel story. How could they? They made it better. They really did.
They made it better.
Tangled is one of the best
Perhaps.
Disney movies of all time.
It is.
You can't just
That's
yeah.
and that's a fact.
Not that Sword of Stone is, but it's
That's
like
a
it's just an original thing. It is. It really is. Okay. Me and Ashton listened to "When Will My Life Begin"
Yes.
and the
I see the light.
I See the Light, and I teared up while
Dude.
singing
Of
it.
course.
Dude.
Because
It's
So
meant
good.
to make you emotional.
So good.
Because it made me emotional at like what 9,
Yeah.
and now it just
You were 9 when that movie came out.
or
Yeah.
so, what
I think
2009, right?
we were 9, yeah.
2009.
Yeah, wow. Okay. I was in my freshman year, sophomore year of high school.
Wow. But yeah, just by singing those songs, I'm like tearing up, and then I had to like turn it off. I'm like, I need to calm down a little
Dude,
bit,
it's so good.
Get a little too emo.
just because I don't know.
Every
that-
song in that movie is good.
It is. It's very good.
It's one of those
Even the
movies
villain
where-
song,
Yeah,
Mother Gothel's song.
even the reprise is
Incredible.
good.
Mother Knows Best.
Yeah,
Mother Knows
Um,
Best. So good.
It's one of those movies where you have to really look at it to look at something that's bad about it. It's just too
Oh, yeah.
good.
It's amazing.
It's better than Tangled. It's better than Moana.
Wait,
by
what?
far.
You mean Frozen?
I mean Frozen. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
you even knew what I was
Of
talking
course
about.
I do,
Tangled
because
is
it's better than
Tangled.
Frozen.
It is better than Frozen. Most things are.
Yeah, Frozen is overrated. I mean,
Frozen is way overrated. It's just kind of okay.
I really liked it when it first came out because it was so different, but now I just feel like it's been overplayed a lot.
And looking at it like again, like a 100 years later is like, I don't know. It's just it's kind of bland for me.
Frozen will not last 100 years.
Although no, it won't. Although I will say
Tangled
nothing compares to
it'll
the
get closer.
first time that you realize that Hans is the bad guy the whole time.
That was good. You're right.
That
was a-
reveal
that
was
was
like
a-
a.
that
Wait,
was
it's a power
unexpected.
struggle movie. Holy crap! It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just turned.
Okay.
I watched it turn.
Oh. Yeah, that reveal was like.
Yeah. That was good. But then after that, it's like, okay. Olaf is good, and then the rest of the movie is okay. The songs in that movie, again, are all kind of good.
Yes.
Frozen 2, that's not
Frozen
the case,
2 was
but
a.
it's only Lost in the Woods is the best song of all time, but that's it.
I went to go see Frozen 2 with my whole family.
Yeah,
so me and Corey, my mom, dad, and my brother. And I'm sitting next to my dad, and the song starts for Lost in the Woods,
Yeah.
and my dad was like, I didn't know they got REO speaking.
Yeah, that's why it's good. Is it rolling, by the way? No, it's not?
No, I'm just giving us a little
Okay, we're just
Fun.
keeping the audio in then. Because that song
Yeah, why?
is literally an 80s rock music video.
It is.
And that's why it's the best
And
Disney
that's
song
why it
I've
was
ever...
so good.
That's why it's so emotional, but it's just so corny at the same time. It's, I don't know. I literally belt that song out in my car just because it's like, I love this R.E.O. Speedwagon song.
I know,
It's so
good call.
good. It's so good.
Didn't know they wrote this.
They didn't put any names of Frozen people in it. They didn't do any Frozen puns or anything. It's just,
No.
it could literally be an R.E.O. Speedwagon song.
All of that is
Exactly.
getting
Yeah.
cut out
Great.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
because it's.
Not in the audio.
Moral of the story, Jonathan Groff finally got his time to shine in...
Moral of the story.
In Frozen 2.
Jonathan Groff is the only
and
good part.
Jonathan
that
Groff-
was the only highlight of that movie.
Jonathan Groff got his time to shine in Mindhunter, and we all know it.
No, you got his time to shine in Hamilton.
Shut up! Mindhunter is better than everything. Have you seen Mindhunter?
Yeah, I have.
I'm not saying it's better than everything. It's a good show,
I've
though.
seen it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm not
Sure.
saying it's better than everything. I'm not actually
You
saying
literally
that.
You literally just said
I
it,
was
though. so-
joking. I'm not actually saying that.
But it's true.
But it's true.
Oh gosh.
You're better than everything.
Hey, what movies are
There's
you
some
watching
bugs
next
out
week?
here. Next week is Avengers 2 and Halloween Town.
It's true, we are watching Halloween Town. I forgot.
I mostly just get emotional and nostalgic about Halloween Town because Debbie Reynolds is in it.
Yeah.
And I love her.
What is she in? What else is she?
Singing in the Rain.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Hello.
I'm very nostalgic about that movie just because it was part of my childhood.
It was like
Yes.
this.
Just the
it-
movie
it-
itself. I'm very.
I wanted to
nostalgic
be
about.
Marnie. I wanted
yeah.
to be
Who
Marnie.
Yeah. It shaped what Halloween was.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh no,
I
totally.
was like, can I move this cookie with my mind?
Yeah.
I'm a witch.
Yeah. Did you know that Captain Marvel is really bad movie?
You're gonna do this to me every
I
time,
did.
aren't you?
I did know that.
Okay, cool.
It's
So there's no
terrible.
discussion about it.
None.
Oh no.
Is
One
that-
of these times I'm gonna get to come on and actually defend myself, right?
Well, here's the
Well,
thing.
maybe when we actually watch the movie, we're never watching it.
We are gonna watch
We
it.
have to watch it at
You
some
have
point.
to at some
We're watching
point,
all the way through.
and when you do,
We're almost halfway through already.
We're moving. We're doing
Okay,
it.
so Avengers 2 is what? The
Avengers 2.
It's like the 8th movie.
8th? Only 8th?
I just took a guess, but something like that.
So
Maybe 10.
first 3,
maybe 10.
no, first 4 Avengers, the big 3 sequels, Guardians, Avengers 2. It's the 10th one.
So yeah, it was close. But...
See how I did that? That was really cool, huh?
10. We're on the 10th movie
I've
out
never
of
seen a Marvel
out
movie
of
in my life.
currently 23.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm laughing because Corey just recently did the whole watch through all.
I
the
mean,
Marvel
that's
movies.
what we got the idea. That's
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
wanted to do it.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why I
know
wanted
that.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and
the thing is, we can only watch one every 2 weeks, so it's
Because of
taking us a
guests.
while.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Oh,
Yeah. I like our Halloween segment that we do.
I love that. I love
That's
that we're
great.
doing Halloween movies.
Yeah.
yes.
And I like that we talked mostly about Halloween and Disney this entire episode.
That's what you
That's-
get
What
with
do
me.
we expect?
That's my brand.
Hey, and I enjoyed every second.
It's
of it.
October and Kinsey's at your house.
I enjoyed every second of it. No, don't get me wrong. I loved this. I loved
Smell-
talking about Halloween and talking about Disneyland.
If you could
so.
smell the Chumpkin.
It's Chumpkin
Him.
and that smell.
He's the
This
Chumpkin.
one.
It's the Chumpkin.
For our audio listeners, it's still that fox.
Pumpkin,
It's still that
Chumpkin,
fox.
Disneyland.
Haunted Mansion. Hopefully not a bad movie. It might be, though.
Might be. I hope it's not.
Yikes.
Okay.